this is Jess and welcome to my channel. This is gonna be my very first tutorial, so please bear with me as I stutter my way through this, as you can already tell. I'm still kind of finding my words as I try to do this because, like I said, this is my first tutorial. Today we will be doing a DIY bath bomb. I apologize if you hear my son in the background. He's playing an online game with his friends. So anyway, going to our ingredients list, we are gonna need a cup and a half of baking soda, 3/4 cups of citric acid, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of SLSA, 1/2 tablespoon of Shea 50, 1/4 tablespoon of coconut oil, 1/2 tablespoon of avocado oil, 1/2 tablespoon of poly 80, 15 ml of fragrance, and if you want to add color, it can be any color that you want, and you can add any amount until you get the right color that you want. And we're not gonna use any water. This ingredient that I developed, this is suitable for high humidity areas. I live in Louisiana and I watched a lot of bath bomb tutorials, and none of them work for me because my mix always activates prematurely. So it's because it's very humid here. So if you live in the south, if you live in Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, and you're having a hard time making your bath bomb based on the ingredients that are found online, this is what worked for me. We're not using water because we already have so much water in our air, but I am using a lot of oils. I will also list down the ingredients in the description box below, and let's begin. So I already have the dry ingredients except the citric acid and the coloring powder in this mix right here. I like to add the citric acid in the end, towards the end, after we already added the wet ingredients, only because for me it works better. That you can add the citric acid now, but it will activate the mix a little bit once you add the wet ingredients. So that's why I like to wait until the end to add the citric acid. So you just want to mix everything really well. I like to make sure that it's really mixed in there. But you don't want to go overboard on mixing either, or you don't want to mix too fast because it's gonna create a cloud of powder and you don't want to inhale that, especially when you have the citric acid in it. You don't want to inhale those things because they may be harmful for your lungs, your airways. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of powder cloud already in my area. So if you want to wear a mask, that's an option too. I know some people do it. And also some of you might be thinking, why am I not wearing gloves? Do you need to wear gloves? It's really optional. It's up to you. For me, the bath bombs that I make, I don't sell them. They are all for my own personal use. So I know they're clean. I know my hands are clean, and I'm gonna be the only one using it. So I don't wear gloves. It's okay. But if you have pretty nails, you have nail arts, or if you're planning to sell your bath bomb or gift it to someone else, then yeah, you can, if you want, you can purchase latex gloves and just wear gloves while making them. So the next thing that we're gonna do is mix up our wet ingredients. So let me get that quick. This is stained with colors because I use lake colors for my bath bombs, and sometimes if you leave them for too long, like when I mix colors and things like that, they do stain the bowl. but it's not that. But see, this bowl is actually pretty clean, it's just stained. But now let's start with our liquid ingredients. So the first one is 1/2 tablespoon of Shea 50. And that is this right here. There. And 1/2 tablespoon of avocado oil. And 1/4 tablespoon of coconut oil. We also need 1/2 tablespoon of poly 80. It's right here. And you can purchase this in Amazon. Just make sure to look for cosmetic grade or food grade to make sure that it's skin safe. So what poly 80 does is it helps mix your oils with water so that when you put the bath bomb in water and it releases the oil won't settle on top of the water along with your colors. So you know what it looks like when you put oil in water. You kind of see them settling on top of the water. If you add poly 80 in this, it's gonna let the oil mix with the water so that it can be dispersed in your skin properly. And I am also now going to add my fragrance, and it is 15 ml. I like it. That's about like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, I think. And I really love the smell of this Dark Kiss. So that smells good. Okay. Now, if you're only doing one color bath bomb, you can mix in the color now too. But I'm doing 2 colors, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this up first. Mix it. Make sure everything is mixed really well. I forgot to do this one thing. Since I am doing 2 colors, so I need to split my batch. And I'm just gonna eyeball this. Let me get another spoon real quick. If you have a weighing scale and you want to be completely perfect with this, then you can just scale it. So I want to make this one to stay as the white color, and I'm gonna color this one pink. So what I'm gonna do now is take my wet mix and put about half of this mix in here. That looks about right. And now what we're gonna do is just mix it. So you can go in with your hand too. And this is why, if you want to use latex gloves, if you have nail art, or you don't want to get your hands dirty, then you can wear gloves. But you want to make sure that you remove the clumps and mix everything together. You want to get to that nice damp sand consistency, and I'm not there yet. I have to mix it some more because I still have some very loose dry powder in here. So you want to make sure that you get the oils spread out. So you know it's good when you take a handful of your mix and just grab some like this and then drop it. And if they stay together, I mean, yeah, sometimes they'll break in half, but if they stay intact most of the part like this, then that's a good mix. So again, see, they stay together. For this one, like I said, I'm gonna color it pink. And you can, if you want, you can add the coloring in your dry mix, but I've done that before and I didn't really like the outcome of mixing twice, or it was just too much work for me that way. So what I like to do is add my color to my wet mix. And you just eyeball however much coloring you want, depending on how intense you want the color to be. I mean, obviously, if you want a more pastel color, then you just add a little bit, but if you want it to be more intense, then you add more. And you just mix that really good. And then we can add it to our dry mix. So we're just gonna mix that, mix it in. I always start off using a spoon to fold it in, and then I go back in with my hand to really mix it. Now let's do our test. It's already good enough for me, because when we add that citric acid and it starts to activate a little bit, it's gonna make it feel a little bit more damp. So now it's time to add our citric acid on our mixes. I already have the citric acid right here. So I'm just gonna take half of this and just kind of sprinkle it around. So let's mix in the white first. Fold it in slowly, because like I said, citric acid can be harmful to your airways and your lungs. So you don't want to get them in the air and inhale them as much as possible. And once you get them nicely folded in, then you can go back with your hand to make sure it's really mixed well in the mix. And that's what I'm talking about. It looks a little, it seems a bit dry earlier, but once I added the citric acid, it starts to feel more damp. And I'm not really squeezing the mix together anymore like I was doing earlier. I'm just spreading it out. I'm just making sure it's mixed. I'm just sprinkling it. But look, when I grab a mix, see? It works better. I think that's mixed enough. It's so much easier if you're just working one color bath bomb, because you don't have to worry about eyeballing measurements and things like that, because it's all gonna be just in one bowl. But then again, like I said, this is just for me. I'm the only one using this. So I'm not really too worried about, you know, this one has a little bit more citric acid than the other one. And they're both going to be on the same bath bomb anyway. But if you want to be more precise, if you want to sell your bath bombs or give it as a gift to people, and you want to be more precise, then you can purchase one of those weighing scales. Alright, and I think that's good. Now the fun part. I'll put them side by side in there. And let's go get our... Oh. Get our molds. I thought I brought more. So what I do to make the pretty nice swirl, pink swirl, is I take half of this and put the colors side by side. So I take half of white, and I don't really pack them in there. I just grab a spoonful and then put them side by side, just like that. And then I take a barbecue stick, and then maybe I should take a stick, and then I just swirl. Let me see, I don't know if you can see that. I just swirl it around like that, starting from the outside and coming into the middle, and then I'll add in more mix. I just alternate the color together, and you want to pack this loosely. You don't want to overpack it or press it down. And then I'll do the same thing for the next one. Okay, this one's gonna get more pink and less white. But I'll pack more white in it. Alright. And now what you do is take the two halves together. I don't know if you can tell. That's how much I have on each mold. And then you're gonna smoosh them together like that. Oops. Okay. I'll take my spoon and just kind of tap around it. Then you carefully open it up, and there you go. See? So now I just have to let this dry like this first, like I leave it in the mold, and then put it on the side and then let it dry like that. So I usually wait overnight. Well, actually I usually wait like 2 days before using them. Let it dry for at least 2 days, just to make sure they're really hard. And do the same thing for the rest of them. And look, we can even use the ones that fell down here in this bowl so you won't have any waste. So you won't have any wasted mix. Just put them there. Add more. And this is what the finished product looked like outside the mold. This is still kind of damp, so I still need to let it dry. And then I will show you guys what it looks like when we put it in the water. And that's it, guys. This bath bomb has been drying for 2 days and now it's ready to go. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this entire video. And if you liked this tutorial, please make sure to hit that like button. And let me know if you're gonna try this out, or let me know what you think. Just drop them in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys later for another tutorial. Bye!